This is the Clipex HD 2000 series crush with order. Now it's the top of the line Clipex crush and it's been designed with several things in mind. We wanted to design it so it would last as long as possible, give you plenty of access to the beast and be very quiet when you're operating it. This is an auto system. You'll see as the cattle enters in through here, it actually triggers an eye sensor above the cattle. It'll then weigh the cattle, draft, open the head valve. Once these eye sensors clear, the head valve will actually close behind the cattle. Once it closed, it'll reset the whole system, repeating the process. Again, once the eye sensor's triggered, the sliding gate will close behind, it'll get the weight, it'll draft either based off the load bars and the weight, or the tag information if you're running an IED reader. Now in regards to how long it's going to last, the crush is hot dip galvanized after it's manufactured. So that's every component in this crush, in this steel work, has been hot dip galvanized. Now the crush is high tensile steel, so it's very solid. It actually weighs 2,000 kilos, that's hence the name. We've got castings in all the corners which give us a significantly stronger join than just butt welding. We also have implemented our new hinge system that bolts on, giving us a lot of strength. That's a stainless steel casting. We've also got grease impregnated iron bushes in all the pivot points and anywhere that steel will be touching steel. Being such a heavy crush and designed for the upper market, this crush will get a lot of work. We wanted to make sure that when you're operating the crush, you're not going to have that day-to-day wear and tear. So we have put that grease impregnated iron bush, which also keeps the crush incredibly silent, which is what we're trying to do with this crush. We folded the sheeting in such a way to minimize the noise. We've got hot dip galvanized perforated mesh on the bottom with the rubber run on top, which also limits the noise. And we've got our patented rattle-free Clipex latch, which is incredibly easy to operate. It has a tapered end, but when that's engaged, there's actually no noise there. So we're trying to limit the noise in everything that we do. We've also designed the crush to have plenty of access. As you can see on the doors here, we've got plenty of doors. So whether or not working from the needle gate here, your branding gate, you've got this top gate here which is opening up, locking into place. We've got the middle gate here which is your rump bar here and your gate underneath. That allows you to be able to run a rump bar underneath and then still get access underneath. The fact that we do have those hinges modular, it means at any stage, if you want to go, look, we want to put an additional gate in here and put a seaman door, we're going to make some modifications, we can actually unbolt any door on this crush and replace it, whether that be for maintenance or whether that be for upgrading your system. Moving back to the vet section, we still have both doors. That's on both sides, giving you plenty of access. Again, they have the rattle-free latch that's locking into place. And I forgot to mention that everything you're seeing here, you're getting on both sides of the crush. So whether or not you want to work on the near side or the off side, you're getting all that access to the beast. We also, as you move forward, once we squeeze the animal, this gap here actually lines up with the neck and becomes incredibly close, meaning you can just go straight in and have that access that you need. Moving back along the crush, we have the split slider at the rear, we have the squeeze and the head bar, and they're all operated from the pneumatic system or from the automated system. So if we want to come over here, and I'll bring this handle around, so I can operate the split sliding gate. Now that is designed, it's exactly the same as our head bar. You can see the heavy construction on that, so it's going to cop with any pressure that you can put on it. And then we've got our squeeze. That's a parallel squeeze, and that actually locks in every single position as it's closing in. You can actually preload that. So if you've got a beast giving you a lot of trouble, load that up, work on the front of the cattle. If they move, that'll continue to move in, just calming the cattle down. Very important when you are running cattle through, the different sizes that you have, you want that control and that flow. So that squeeze allows you to have that. Being pneumatic, you're going to use it on a regular basis. You don't have to go in there and operate something manually, which is giving you all the access and the control from when you want to put the beast into the head bale. Now this dash panel is completely movable, so depending on where you want to work that pneumatics from, whether it be from the rear of the cattle, so you're not in their way, or you want to move a bit closer, you can see what you're doing. On that arm, you've obviously got that full extent of that swinging out. Now this head bale, you can see it's an extremely heavy duty construction. Again, the grease impregnated bushes and all the pivot points. It actually has 2 locking cells, so a lot of pneumatic crushers are relying on the air. We're actually using the locks in the system. Each door is independently locked and they work together, so both locks need to fail for that head bale to open. They also work directly on each door, so it actually gives you 0 movement on each side because it's directly acting on the door. Now you can see on the front of this crush here we have these rubbers that are reinforced on the inside. They give you additional grip, but are completely replaceable if you ever need to. And again, it's just operating, very quick to be catching. We do also have the head holder on the front that comes with all our 2000 series crushers. You can see here it's simply just pulling down and it's locking in place in all positions. We do have a handle here that comes out to give you additional leverage when you need it. And that's fully adjustable. So whether or not it be the bolts here that you can adjust the height, or the grub screws here that are operating side to side, depending on the size of the animal, you can adjust that. As you'll see, it's top and bottom, which is just giving you full control of that beast, and you're not having to worry about, if you're going to get caught or not caught, giving you a lot more safety there. To release, you're lifting that up, which is disengaging the locking cell, and that's simply coming down. Now when using the Clipex pneumatic system, it's important to utilize the features of the crush. Now on this crush we have the parallel squeeze. I'm going to gauge up the size of the animal and adjust that squeeze just to limit the flow and have more control of the beast. I'm going to open up this entry gate. Now the head bale, you only need to open it as much for the cow to poke its head through. Sometimes you'll have to open more or less, but you want to have as much control as possible. Now if I load up that air ram, it applies pressure to those air rams, loading that up, so every time he moves, it will adjust. Now the locking cells are actually doing all the work as far as holding that animal. The air rams aren't working at this stage. Now with the chin bar, we've got full control here and access. That's telescopic. Full access to the front of the cow. He can't go anywhere. Simply pulling this up to adjust that. From here, we can operate the 3-way draft.